Alright, so a new Division 2 update, which comes with new gear sets, brand set, and exotics. So I thought in today's video, I would show you a really good rifle build for once, which is using the new gear set and the new brand set as well. So I do have two different versions for this build. One is fully damage oriented, which is the one I guess most people are interested in, but also another version, which I think is better, that have a lot of survivability. So start off first with the gun that I choose to use. So this is a one-shot rifle build for PVE. So we are using the 1886. Before we look at the talent, you want to make sure that you get as a third attribute here, you want to have damage to target out of cover. If you can't get that, then go damage to armor. We take a look at the talent, we have determined. So if you have played this game for quite some time, you probably know how it works. But if you're a new player or returning player, you can quickly just explain it. So after killing an enemy with a headshot, the next landed shot on an enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. So you kill the NPC, bam, with a headshot. The next shot you hit will be a guaranteed headshot, right? So we can use body shot and get headshot and just like instantly kill people, as you can see. We created almost 21 million and this build is not min-max, so yeah, really good damage. On the gun, I choose to run reload speed because you will reload a lot. That's kind of one of the downsides of the build. If you want to go full damage, you can go headshot damage or rate of fire, but definitely recommend reload speed. Other than that, you can't really mod the gun. Yeah, I guess we can talk about that a little bit. The downside is the reload time, right? But you have really fast rate of fire, as you can see here. And most of the time you have 6 bullets, which means you can one-shot a wave and then just wait for the next wave and you just reload, as you can see in the clip right here. So it's a perfect build for open world. I think it works extremely well for almost everything. The only downside, sure, you can say the reload, but I think that is fine. But it is a bit weaker against armored enemies. But since the gun shoots so fast, it's not really that big of an issue. But you have to make sure you land your shots though. So keep that in mind. That is the downside with this build. Other than that, it's freaking amazing and it's actually super fun to run. So we actually take a look at the build here. The secondary gun, you can use whatever. Same with the pistol. I choose to use Orbit just for the perfect finisher, right? So you can finish off an NPC and you get crit chance and crit damage. Doesn't really matter too much on this build, but it's just something that I always like to do. And then Ouroboros. Usually only just use the 1886 because determined, you swap the gun, you lose determined, right? So we have the new gear set here, right? I will probably make a video covering that, but I covered it in PTS and it did get buffed. So it is better, but it's, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of this set, but that will be another video. But the really good thing with the Pathfinder set is that it gives 25% rifle damage and marksman rifle damage. Sure, we'll lose one attribute here, but since this is a headshot focus build with determined, we're only really gonna focus on firstly headshot damage as an attribute and then secondly weapon handling. So this doesn't really matter too much. We lose weapon handling and that's fine. So yeah, headshot damage everywhere. That's why I didn't hit 20 million up, because I rolled this to test. But yeah, headshot everywhere. So we have that one. Then we also have 2 pieces of the new set, which is called Zwiadowka, something like that. I probably mispronounced that, but yeah, you get it. So 15% mag size, which is nice. And then 20% rifle damage there as well, which is pretty huge. Here you can see this backpack is not great at all. 5.6% weapon damage. And I miss headshot damage and weapon handling here. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, it's day 2 for me playing the patch. So eventually I will get a better backpack. On this particular build, we are using Vigilance as a talent, which works really well with one-shots build because you can sit and cover or even use a shield since it's a rifle. So yeah, it's pretty easy to have high uptime on that one. The second build though won't be using Vigilance, but we get to that later. Then we're also using the named Walker chest piece called Chain Killer that comes with perfect Headhunter, which makes the damage really good here. So just getting killing blows will add up the additional damage to your next shot, and you hit the cap pretty quick, which is raised to 1250 if your headshot damage is greater than 150. And of course we have 164, so we will get that. So make sure that you actually have that headshot damage, but it shouldn't be an issue because you're gonna spec that into everything. So quick, how does chain killer work? You can see right there below the mag size, right? We charge it up. So we hit first 4 million, which is kind of low to start it up. Then bam, we hit again 9.9. And now we almost have it maxed out. So we're gonna hit 18.8 million. And now we should hit 20. If I actually had the right headshot damage there. But yeah, almost 20 mil. If it was min-max, we hit over 20 mil. And of course, if we crit, it's even higher. Yeah, I did go through the Zwiadowka big gear pieces. But we're actually using the named one. Because this is a headshot damage build. So we only care about headshot and weapon handling. And what did you look at the new named one? Comes with 15% weapon handling. So works perfect for this build. So make sure that you get Zwiadowka on the glove, and especially the name one if you can. It's not the biggest deal if you don't, but I mean, you get 5% more, so why not? Then we have the last piece, which is Fox Sprayer. So that gives you damage to target out of cover, and also 10% rifle damage from the brand set. Really, really good piece. And if you are a veteran of the game, you know how often people use this one, even though they're not using a rifle. But here it works perfect because it's a headshot damage build, right? The only thing we lose is weapon handling. So that is the first damage oriented build. Everything into weapon damage, right? And just full damage. In terms of skills, I think for this build, you want to have Revive Hive. And then I choose to use the skill because it's just extra effective HP. But yeah, that is how the damage build looks like. If we take a look at the version that I prefer, then we have this one right here. You can see it's using Ninja Bike, so that is one big difference. And if you don't know how Ninja Bike works, it literally just adds additional gear set / brand set bonus for everything. So we have one Pathfinder equipped, but we will get the 2-piece. So that way we can get more brand sets and gear set bonuses from the pieces. So we look at it, we got the Ninja Bike with headshot damage. We still want to focus on weapon damage and headshot damage. We do get an extra blue from Ninja Bike though. And also from Picaro, we get an extra blue, but we also have weapon damage. And since it's a headshot damage build, once again, stuff like Picaro works extremely well because we're not really losing anything except the weapon handling. So yeah, it's perfect getting a blue and a red for free basically. And on top of that, since we're using Ninja Bike, we do get the skill tier as well from Picaro, which we will come to later. Other than that, we still have Fox Sprayers, we still have Walker and Harris chain killer, right? And we also have Pathfinder there. And I guess it's worth to know we still want to use Eagle Grasp if you have it, because of the 5% extra weapon handling. Not the biggest deal, but I mean, if you can build it this way, then make sure you do it this way because that's the best way. So yeah, it says 5 red, but we have 6 because Picaro gives another red, right? And we have 2 blues and 1 skill tier. If we do look a bit closer though, we look at the shield right here, which is really, really strong for this build. You can see that we actually have a tier 5 shield, which is extremely strong. And since it's a rifle, you can actually use the shield. So this one deals a little bit less damage than the other one. We can check the numbers right here. So 15, I'm pretty sure I hit around 16 mil with this. Yeah, there we go, 16 mil, maybe a bit higher. But yeah, around 16 mil versus around 20. So that's around a 20% decreasement in damage. But we get a ton of more survivability because of this tier 5 shield. On top of that, I decided to go Technician, Specialization, which grants you additional 1 skill tier. And then it also grants you the Artificer Hive. And the Artificer Hive will just keep the shield up. Honestly, when I play though, I don't think you need Artificer Hive. You could use Revive Hive, or you could use a Defender Drone, which will have a damage reduction of 35%, which is pretty high. You could use like a Fixer Drone, or anything you like. I mean, make sure you use the shield because it is skill tier 5, so extremely strong. The other skill, you can do whatever you want. I honestly would probably run Artificer Hive or Revive Hive. But let's check out the Specialization. So to get the most damage for this, you do want to run Sharpshooter. It's not that much extra damage you get though, but you get 15% increased headshot damage with rifles from 1 in the head. And then you also have 15% increased weapon stability, reduced recoil, and faster reacquisition of targets. So those two are pretty good from this one. If you're gonna run the shield, I would recommend to run a technician. I think just the one skill tier is pretty useful. And you have damage to robots and drones as well. And then you also have Artificer Hive to heal up your shield if you decide to do that. But I think this covers this one-shot rifle build, which I think is extremely fun to play. And yeah, it's a little bit refreshing way to play it. So the plan now is to look into the new gear set eventually and try to do something with that. And I do love the Diamondbacks. I will probably try to put together a build with that as well, seeing that we have some rifle updates to the game. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and tomorrow I think I will have a video that's a bit more scripted with the key points about the season 2.0, because I did not like the video I made before about it. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, I see you guys in the next video or on twitch.tv/widdz.